So good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to PowerBuilderTV. This is our inaugural webinar, and we're going to introduce you to an application suite that makes working with PowerBuilder much easier. Our presenter, Christophe de Formentel, is CEO of Novalis. He started as an IT consultant and has been a project leader and a sales executive in various French and international IT companies. He regularly participates in Sybase seminars and user group conferences around the world. Welcome, Christophe.
Thank you again. Okay, so I'll introduce briefly today a suite of tools for PowerBuilder developer. Try to keep it brief, and we'll have time later on with other webinars to enter into lower detail or much more details. We will start with a new tool, a new product called Customization Studio. This tool is designed to let end user contribute to the design of the application, which means that end users have the ability to rearrange screens, customize report, translate text. And in other words, they have the possibility to change some items, some aspects of the UI of the application. There are different situations for where we met this type of need. So, for example, if you're a software vendor and you're developing a commercial application, you sell this application to several customers, you have the possibility to let your customer, to let the end user, someone who will be named the customization manager, for example, at the customer side, customize his own copy of the application. So a software vendor develops a generic copy of the application, and locally, each user, each customer has the possibility to customize his own copy. Second example, that's a classic in-house application, and during the development cycle there's always a phase where you need to validate the UI of the application with someone who's representing the end users. And at this point you will be discussing, maybe you will send some feedback by email, you need to take that into account, develop again, compile, deploy, show that again, etc. Well, in this case, you would skip this trial and error cycle, and you would directly sit with the end user and you would run the application, the actual application, and on the screen you would adjust, redesign, move fields, change colors, resize, that kind of stuff, live on the application, and it's applied automatically after that. A few more information about Customization Studio before I show you an example. All the changes are made, are defined, while the application is running. You do not go to a specific interface. It's not a development tool or development environment. You just run the application, and then you have a small tool to do whatever you want to define as a change. There's no development skill required to use Customization Studio. It is designed for end users. Of course, they have to know the application, and they have to have the proper ability, the right to define this, but technically speaking, there's no development skill required. If you're a software vendor, you do not need to disclose the source code of the application. And generally speaking, the end user will never access the source code to customize the application or rearrange the UI. So if you're a software vendor, it's good to know you can deploy your product as usual, just an executable copy, and that's enough for the end user to change the application. Two possibilities for the change to be applied. First possibility, the change can be made and stored separately from the code that will be stored in the database, and they will be applied dynamically whenever the application is running. Second possibility, you can let Customization Studio change the code automatically. So if you're moving a field, for example, if you choose to, Visual Studio will change the code and will put the field in this new place for now. That will be a permanent change. I'll show you a quick example of how this might work. I will run a sample application, and that's classic application where I can see employees, sales order, etc. If I open the window of an employee, let's say that first of all I'd like, I'm in the validation phase. I'm the end user and there are some small details that I would like to change. So instead of writing a long document to explain that, I'll do that on the screen directly. First of all, I'd like to rename this, for example, from birthday to anniversary. So I will open this tool in which I can see all the items in the window. For those who already tried another protocol Enable, this is part of it that we reuse, same type of interface. It's called Runtime Explorer. Anyway, with this tool I see the content of the window. I can select one item in the window and apply an action here. I can select either an object or a column, like this one, for example, in the data window. And then I can apply one action, which in this case would be to rename with this feature called Localizer. Let's say that I would like it to be anniversary instead of birth date. And you can note that I can manage several languages in case you want your application to be a multilingual application. When it's done, I can either apply the change to see if it works for me or write it to save it permanently. And I can see that now the application has changed. So if I close the application and open it again, the field will be renamed here. Another example, if this application was designed for a user based in the US and I'm in the UK, so I don't need state anymore. So what I'll do is right here, I will select this field and open this tab here to change the property, which is the visible property. I will just disable this property. Same with the second field here that I will hide again and write, and that's it. As a user, I chose to make those fields not visible anymore because I just don't need them. So if I have a commercial application with probably many data managed by the application, maybe some of them are not useful for me. I can just get rid of them to adjust the GUI. Then once I'm done, maybe I want to rearrange the items on the screen. So I will open this one to, you can see, resize, move, align stuff. So for example, right here I can put the things like this, whatever I want. Well, anyway, all the change I need. And when I'm done, if it's a minor change, I can just pixel by pixel resize or move, or just with the mouse the way I want. And when I'm done, again, I will write it, and that's it. The application is modified the way I want. That's just a quick overview. If you want to learn more at this point, first possibility, you can go to the website. I believe Megan will send this slideshow to all attendees afterward in case you want to browse the website by yourself. Or you can also attend the seminar that we will host very soon to go into much more detail which type of change we can apply with Customization Studio, how can the developer review the changes made to validate or remove them, what is how do we manage the future development cycle of the application to make them compatible with the use of Customization Studio, etc.